Hello, everyone, and welcome in. Today is Wednesday, September 13th, and I'll be taking a look at what messages are coming through from God, the divine spirit, the universe for you. So before we do the readings broken out by sign groupings, we'll pull 3 cards and see kind of the general collective energy. As a reminder, I've now started, if you click in the description box below, it'll take you, it'll show you the timestamps for when the different sign groupings start. So that way, if you wanted to just kind of skip ahead to yours after I do the general reading, you can do that. One of the big things that's coming up is on the 15th. So just a couple days from now, Mercury is going to be going direct. So that's going to help relieve some of that weird kind of off sort of feeling energy. So Mercury retrograde, remember, has a lot to do with like miscommunication, technology issues, travel issues, timing issues. So it's kind of this weird heavy energy. So that's going to be going direct on the 15th. There will still be a couple weeks of shadow period after that, but certainly you should be noticing a relief in some of that energy once we get past the 15th. So also check out, there's going to be the readings posting later today, the individual zodiac signs for the next 2 weeks. So make sure you check those out. So most of those will be posting later today. And then I think there's a couple of them that may trickle over into tomorrow. So let's jump in and see what we have. We have our 7 of Cups. Or actually, I guess that did come up in the reverse. So we've got that. We've got our King of Wands in reverse. And then we've got our 6 of Swords. So that's kind of the overall energy there. So with our 7 of Cups in reverse, this is like there's too many options. So she's sitting here looking at all these different options to choose from. So it's kind of that feeling of being like overwhelmed and confused and not really knowing what to do about it because there's just too many options. Your King of Wands in reverse is going to be this impulsive, almost like bullying or bitter type of behavior. And then with our 6 of Swords, that's going to be positive change, like moving on and traveling. And this one in the Rider-Waite deck is, the person's in the boat and like the swords are kind of behind them and they're moving. So this is almost like you're, I don't know if overwhelmed is the right word, but kind of like, yeah, maybe overwhelmed and kind of bitter that there's all these different choices to choose from. And it's just like, I don't want to deal with that. So moving on. And that's kind of the overall energy right now. So let's go ahead and jump in and see what it looks like for the individual sign groupings and see if we can get some other clarity. So let's start today with our fire sign. So that's going to be our Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, and see what messages are coming through for you. All right, the Hierophant. So this is that kind of traditional type of thinking. It's also associated with like mentor, guru, teacher. So whether it's that you are needing to reach out to one, or maybe you are actually being seen as a teacher or a guru, maybe people are starting to reach out to you. So that sort of energy is in play for you for today, fire signs. So let's see what else comes up for you. Gaia, wisdom, knowledge, spiritual understanding. And sometimes it's kind of a combination of as you start to tap into these gifts, and maybe you are reaching out to somebody that you feel is like a trusted advisor. It's like as you start to awaken, it's almost like you tap into your gifts the more you try to explain them to somebody. So maybe you're reaching out to somebody thinking you need some guidance, but then as you start to incorporate this information and these gifts that are coming through and this wisdom, as you explain it to somebody else, it's almost like it solidifies it differently in your brain. So I've noticed that before. And this could also be a matter of some of your thinking may have been too scattered before, like, here, I'm going to tap into this type of thinking, this, not necessarily religion, but like this belief system. And so it's like you're trying out different ones and it gets to the point where it's like, no, too many decisions, moving on. I'm going to do what feels right in me. So let's take a look at our light worker card and see what comes up for light worker card. Leap. You go first. The universe will catch you. And this, with some of this kind of traditional thinking, it is, that could be what's keeping you stuck. So think about what it is that you're being asked to leap towards. If the universe is saying you go first and just have faith that we, the universe, will protect you. We have your best interests in mind. We have your back. Just take that leap of faith. This could be some of that out of the box thinking. So you have to have that wisdom and spiritual understanding to know that you're supported. And this might be encouraging you to think outside the box, break free from that traditional thinking, and just take that leap and know that the universe has your back. Let's take a look at our romance oracle and see what's coming up. Express your love. Go ahead and make the romantic gesture. And this could be that leap here that is being talked about, is go ahead and express yourself. Generally, when people end up having regrets in life, it's not about the chances that they did take that didn't work out. It's usually the chances they didn't take, because there's always that, what if I would have done that and it would have worked out. So people, when you're standing there on the precipice, it's kind of like but what if this doesn't work out? And that's usually kind of like the fear, like this person here is standing on the edge. What if it doesn't work out? What if it doesn't work out? Yeah, but what if it does? So that's kind of that whole thing of make sure that, you don't want to just recklessly be jumping into things, but make sure that you're not letting your fears rule you. All right, next is on to our earth signs. So that's our Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. This is the star. So this is kind of that hopeful, optimistic type of feeling. And I know sometimes like the sun and the star are kind of similar in terms of when you're looking at it, that it's like, oh, and it's about blessings and things like that. But with the star, think about it like when you wish upon a star. So this is that wish, this is that hope, that optimism, like you have a better mindset for the future. You haven't gotten your blessings yet, but you're hopeful that you're going to. So with this moving on, you have that optimism that, okay, I'm ready to move on. I'm ready to be done with whatever these choices are. I'm ready to say goodbye to this bitterness, and I'm ready to move on. And so there's that sense of hope and optimism that's helping to guide you. All right, let's see what the Gaia card is for you. All right. Harmony, power, self-confidence, and productivity. So that's your card. So with that, a lot of it, this self-confidence and productivity and harmony, one of the big pushes right now energetically, with all of these different planets that are in retrograde and North Node moving into Aries, about standing in your own truth. A lot of it is about, when we're talking about harmony, it's how do we create peace around us? So being in situations that are emotionally draining, that are energetically draining, that are sometimes physically draining, that's not creating peace and harmony in your life. Like, don't do something just because that's what you've always done. At work, we used to have a little bit of like a saying that the worst answer you can give when somebody says, well, why do you do it that way? Well, we've always done it that way. Like, that's the worst answer you can give, because just because you've always done it that way doesn't mean it's the right way to do it. Doesn't mean there hasn't been a better way that's come along. So it's kind of this whole idea of you need to create harmony. And actually, look at those colors there. In terms of the matching up of the color hues, like all of the background here is matching up with the background for Wesley. And even, she's got kind of this grayish on and he's got kind of this grayish on. So it's this whole idea of having optimism and this hope for the future of having harmony. So you have to step into your power, step into your self-confidence, and do what it is that's going to make you happy. Let's see. So this one says break the chain, ancestral patterns, healing, rewriting the future. So again, that's the whole idea of the worst answer you can give for why are you doing it that way. We've always done it that way. You need to break those chains. Because even adding this card in here, sorry, in the video part, it's backwards, same color pattern. So this is all the same theme of you need to find inner peace by breaking whatever these ancestral chains are. If it's, following job and career paths that aren't fulfilling, but that's what everybody in your family does. Everybody in our family is a doctor. Everybody, joins the family business. Maybe it's a landscaping business, an interior design business. Well, everybody does that. Well, just because everybody has done that doesn't mean that you have to. Like, if that's not making you happy, if that's not feeling like that's your purpose, break out of it. If it's, well, nobody in my family has ever gotten a divorce. If you're miserable in your marriage and it's not working and neither one of you feel fulfilled and on your path and you've tried to make it work and it isn't working, maybe you need to break that chain within your family of staying in dysfunctional relationships, because that's what we do. So let's take a look at our romance card and see what comes out. Attraction. You attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully. So even these thoughts of love, if you're single and you're trying to attract somebody in, again, it's kind of this whole, if you're manifesting, you have to manifest from a position of gratitude and abundance. If it's, if you're miserable in the moment, you're like, God, I can't wait to be on to the next thing, when will this month ever end? When will this year ever end? If you're in that sort of energy, you're not really going to be attracting love. And even within existing relationships, if you're constantly in a bad mood, grumbling about everything and, pissed off with everything, you're not going to have those warm, loving feelings. It's going to be that angry energy. All right, water signs. And this is going to be for Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Ooh. The Hanged Man. So this is that self-imposed period of reflection. You're looking at things, trying to decide what to do, sometimes looking at it from different points of view, different angles. And so, you have all these choices and you're trying to figure out what to do. So you're kind of putting yourself into this time out while you think about what to do. But it's also, this indecision, you're kind of stalling. You're not making a decision because you don't really know what to do yet. Intuitive communication. Silent whispers of the heart. And this is something that we've said before on this channel a lot is, your intuition whispers. Your fears and your doubts and your insecurities, they yell. So if you have a voice that's loud in your head about, don't do this, that's probably just your fears and insecurities. It's not necessarily your intuition, because you have to quiet everything around you to hear your intuition. All right. And that'll help lead you out of this Hanged Man energy. All right. Play. Have fun. Celebrate. Don't be so serious. And so it's funny because that actually, from the Earth one about being in this moment fully and enjoying this moment, part of it is you do have to play. Not everything has to be so serious. And if everything is this disaster that you're trying to manage, you're going to find yourself just moving from one disaster to the next. So find time to play and enjoy yourself. Take a break from this Hanged Man energy. And, maybe part of that is move on a little bit. That forward movement of, it's time to play. All right, your romance card. Codependency. Addictions are affecting your romantic life. So with this, and you probably kind of have that feeling. So these, color scheme wise go together, because even all the yellows in the background here are matching up with that, with codependencies and talking about addictions. So addictions, it can be substance abuse. So drinking, drugs, it can be, other vices, gambling, shopping, sex. It can also be addicted to another person, and like with the codependency part, maybe it's that you've never been able to stand on your own 2 feet. And so it's like you've become dependent upon this other person, and that's affecting your romantic life. Or if you're single, kind of like, oh, but I'm used to having another person. I can't be single. Like, what would that mean if I'm single? And so then it's kind of like you're choosing a partner based on feeling like you have to have somebody, as opposed to, yeah, that'd be nice, but does this person actually fulfill me? Does this person make me feel like I'm on the right path in my life? So, all right, on to our air signs. That's going to be our Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. For you, the Tower. Bum, bum, bum. So the Tower, there's too many kind of balls in the air, too many choices, and you've decided to move on. And so the Tower would be that some of those choices are being removed from the table. So if you were trying to decide between, multiple different options, if you were getting multiple job opportunities or job offers, the Tower moment could be, hey, all of a sudden they all fall through because Spirit's saying, you know what, this whole field that you're interviewing for, no, that's not what your calling is. We're going to take that off the table and make you kind of go in a different direction. Maybe you've been thinking about moving houses, and you were house hunting, and there's all these options to choose from, and then all of a sudden the financing falls through, and so it's like, nope, staying in this apartment. So some of those, when you think about like Tower moments, usually they're protecting you from something. It's sometimes hard to see in the moment, but they're usually protecting you from something. All right, Goddess of Creation, transformation, creativity, and wholeness. So Tower moments usually lead to some sort of, I'll call it massive transformation for you. You're transforming but in a creative way. So if you allow the Tower moments, if you're able to step back and say, okay, what about this Tower do I need to learn from? What was the reason? What led to this Tower happening? How can I adjust my life circumstances and adjust my mindset to be able to handle it better in those types of situations better in the future, or avoid these big situations? And this one goes with that too. The ever unfolding rose, cracked open. It's happening for you, not to you. So that's that whole idea of, what is this Tower trying to show me? And I use that example of, if you had too many choices on your plate because you were house hunting and looking at moving out of this apartment and into these houses, and at the last minute, like the financing fell through. What is that trying to show you? Maybe, it's happening for you that fell through, because otherwise, if you would have been overextending yourself, then you could have been in financial distress, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the road. So the financing maybe fell apart. To be able to shine a light on, you need to have a different strategy for managing your money and saving for a house, and something like that. So it's like the Tower at the time may feel like, oh my gosh, this is terrible. But if you can step back and look and see, what is the lesson I'm supposed to be learning in here, you can see how maybe these Towers are actually protecting you from something worse down the road. All right, so let's take a look at your romance oracle card. You deserve love. You are lovable. So if this is a relationship that's ending, maybe it could be ending because of the fact that the other person wasn't giving you what you needed and what you deserve and what you wanted in terms of love, and they were leaving you feeling like you weren't deserving of it. So this is that reminder, you are deserving of love. So this is happening for you so that you can be open to having a more loving, compatible partner coming in down the road. So I hope this has been helpful for you for today. And as always, take only what resonates and leave the rest behind. And as a reminder, the individual zodiac sign readings are going to be coming up today and into tomorrow, and check out the other recent videos that have posted, like the pick your pile, is this your person, a message from your person, and things of that nature. So I wish you peace and joy along your journey, and until next time, bye-bye.